Hey Country Day School students, so today in this video, you are going to learn how to be a successful student in a flipped classroom. Now, a flipped classroom is a brand new teaching method that came out a couple of years ago, and it's completely different than anything you've ever experienced or been a part of. So I want to take a little bit of time to explain to you how to be successful in a flipped classroom. The first thing we need to talk about is what a flipped classroom actually is. A flipped classroom is a class where you will never have to just sit down and listen to a teacher talk for 45 to 50 minutes. It is a class where you will always be moving, where you will be standing, when you will be debating, where you will be creative and creating projects and constantly be moving in the room. The third thing that a flipped classroom is a class that you get to express your creativity in. It's a class where you get to express your opinion. It's a class where you get to showcase your talents in whatever we are talking about. And finally, it is a class where the entire time, no matter what we are doing, is spent checking to see if you actually know the information. Because to be honest, just because a teacher talks for 45 to 50 minutes in a class and goes over something does not mean you've actually learned it. So that is what a flipped classroom is. Now, let's kind of go over how a flipped classroom works. This is what you are going to do at home. At home, you are going to log on to your computer and you are going to watch videos that I have created and I have recorded that will give you all of the class content that you would normally get at school. That's why it's called a flipped class. What you normally did at school, you are now going to do at home. When you watch these videos, you are going to be taking notes just like you would if you were in a normal classroom. Now, you're going to be taking notes on not only what's on the PowerPoints that you're going to see, but also what I am saying in these record videos, because some things I could test you on could be on what I say. Now, for me to make sure that you have watched these videos and you have taken notes and you are prepared with that content, every time a video is assigned, we will be having a short little quiz at the beginning of class to make sure that you watched this video. Now, these videos aren't going to be very, very specific. These videos aren't going to ask you about the smallest little details, but you will be asked to know information from those videos in these quizzes. Now, here's the question. How do I watch these videos, Mr. Muller? Well, step one, you need to download QuickTime Player. The software I use to render my videos can only be played using QuickTime. So, the process on downloading QuickTime goes a little something like this. If you go into Google and you just type into Google, download QuickTime, you're going to see that first possible link at the top of the screen. Now, all I need you to do is download it. If you have a Mac, you already have QuickTime. If you have a PC, you're going to need to download it. Now, after you download it, go through the setup and it will be on your computer to watch anything, just like Windows Media Player, just like iTunes, or just like any sort of video viewing software that you have on your computer. Now, the second thing you're going to need to do is open up the video files that I assigned by using QuickTime. At the first week of class, I am going to give you all of the videos that you are going to need for this semester. So you don't have to worry about the internet going out. You don't have to worry about power outages. The content is always there for you to access at any time and to watch as many times as you want. Now, to access a video through QuickTime, if QuickTime is not your default media player, when you look at the video file, you're going to right-click on that file and use the Open With function to play it through QuickTime. Now, if you have a PC, it's going to look something a little bit like this. Now, here's the process that I would recommend when you watch these videos to make sure that you understand everything that's being said and everything that you're seeing in these videos. The first thing I would suggest is to pause the video at every slide that you see. Before you even listen to me talk, pause the video and write down all of those notes. That way, you can spend the entire time listening to me explain and elaborate on those notes that you're writing down. Now, after you've written down the notes, just listen to me. And if there's anything that I say is really important, or if there's anything that you hear that sounds really important or helps you understand some of the notes that you wrote down, write it down either on the side of your paper, under your paper, somewhere, so that you can get a little bit more information, that you can go a little bit deeper, and that you can understand what is being said. Now, after you do that, and after you have written down the notes, after you have watched me elaborate and talk a little bit more about those notes, if there was something there that, you know what, you didn't quite understand, or you need to hear that again, you can pause the video, you can rewind it, and you can watch it as many times as you want. And that's the great thing about a flipped classroom. Instead of being embarrassed for a teacher to re-explain something if you don't understand it, you can go through these videos at your own pace. If you get everything initially, then you just go through the video once and you're great. If you're having trouble, you can back it up as many times as you want and as often as you want. Now, when you come into the class, now again, a flipped classroom, what you normally did at home, we're now going to do at school. So the class is going to be separated into 4 days, and here are what you can expect on these different days. Now, if you have an A day is going to be spent trying to see if you know the content information. So we're going to look at quotes, we're going to analyze pictures, we're going to debate, and we're going to really discuss a lot of things that were mentioned in those videos. And the great thing is I get to spend that entire time trying to make sure if you understand this information. Now, if we have a B day is really about a project. A B day is really designed to see if you can go a little bit deeper than just what we've talked about in our flipped videos. So we could have PowerPoint presentations, we could have videos, we could make commercials, movie trailers, we're going to have news days, we're going to do exhibits in the classroom, and all of it is designed for you to go a little bit deeper than what we covered in our flipped videos. And all of them are going to probably incorporate some form of technology. Now, I don't care how you complete these assignments. You can be creative as you want. All I care about is the content that I'm requiring in these projects. And you'll see a little bit more about this as we go through these projects in class. Now, if you see a C day is spent investigating a topic that wasn't covered in any of the videos. Now, this could be done through discovery stations. This could be done through web quests. This could be done with news articles, where we're going to look at something within that time period, but it wasn't something we discussed in our videos. So this is kind of a little bit of an off day. We're looking at something within that topic, but it's going to be brand new. But again, it's not going to be done through a lecture. It's only going to be done using a method where you are moving or you have to do a little bit of research. And finally, if you see a D day is reserved for days where we're going to review for quizzes or tests, and we're going to take quizzes and tests. So those are the 4 days that you are going to see when you come into class. Well, that's all for now. I hope you learned a little bit more about what a flipped classroom is and how to be successful in a flipped classroom. If you do not understand or if you are confused about anything you saw in this video, just pause, rewind, and watch it again. Thanks for watching.